Hello everybody, welcome to Tamiyo's journal. My name is Tom and I'll be your chronicler, and we're here today to play some Magic. So what goes on in the journal is we take games from paper and bring them over to Arena, show you guys some of the fun decks we've been playing, kind of tips and tricks on how to play them. If you want to go check out the full article on how the games went, please check out the website tamiyosjournal.com, and if it's not too much trouble to ask, do the usual YouTube stuff like subscribe, leave a comment. So let's jump in and check the deck out today. So this is Raze-Boar Stompy, and it's a deck that I really wanted to build last season. I wanted to build this big Gruul mid-range deck, but never quite got around to it. I still think Rhythm in the Wild is a very powerful card, so I've kind of revisited it now with the kind of amazing amount of 5-drops we've been given this set. I think there's a real chance that Gruul could do some real work. So Ilharg, the Raze-Boar, kind of our big finisher in the deck, along with things like Galta and God Eternal Ruinous. We'll talk about them in just a wee bit, but to start us off, we've obviously got things to ramp into those. Llanowar Elves, Incubation Druids, we've got Spellbreaker as just kind of a decent either attacker or defender. It's either going to be a 3-3, a 4-4, so it'll do some work. People have been using Nullhide Ferox a lot in these kind of lists. I'm not 100% convinced by it, since we are wanting to play a couple of Planeswalkers, and as well we can maybe catch up people with things like Thud. I think Goreclaw might be slightly better, but again we'll talk about that in a second. Demanding Dragon's kind of our replacement for Skarg and Hellkite. I just think the kind of pressure and the ETB that'll happen when you're using it in conjecture with Ilharg might be slightly better. Again, all subject to testing, but I'm pretty happy with the way this list is looking so far. We've got things like Domri's Ambush as well, just to kind of make sure if our Llanowar Elves need to take out something early, or if we want to get something a little bit bigger as well. It's an extra little handy piece. In the sideboard wise, we've got things like Cindervines against control, obviously dealing damage to them whilst they're casting spells, it's great. Being able to sacrifice it to kill enchantments or artifacts, very, very handy. Lava Coils kind of deal with bigger things we can, really deal with, so things like Drakes. Thrashing Bronzestone's in there just as another kind of artifact removal, and also a really good blocker as well. So one of the newer cards, Vivien Champion in the Wild, I think this is going to be an amazing card that can bring Gruul up as a tier 1 deck. Being able to cast creature spells as though they had flash is pretty insane, and yeah, I think it's just going to be a control breaker. You're going to be able to flash in Ilharg at the end of someone's turn. It's going to be crazy. We've got Old Vivien Reid as well, just for a bit of card advantage if we need it, and we've also got Carnage Tyrant in there as well against control. This could be subject to change. I'm swithering between Carnage Tyrant and Biogenic Ooze, depending on if you're up against more aggro. Biogenic Ooze might be slightly better. Again, if you face more control, Carnage Tyrant's always going to be better. So, yep, sideboard subject to meta changes as well. But for now, I think sticking against the plan of trying to be Esper is the name of the game. So we'll see what happens. We'll jump over and talk about the rest of the cards. So we got things like Goreclaw in here in the deck, which I'm still on the fence about, to be honest, but after doing a little bit of testing over the last couple of days, I have a feeling that it might fit better in the deck than Nullhide Ferox. Goreclaw has like a ton of upside if it can survive, so it does have 3 toughness, so it does die to lightning strikes and stuff, but at the end of the day, if your opponent's going to kill something, I'd rather they kill this than say something like Nullhide Ferox. The hexproof from that is amazing, but yeah, having your creature spells with power 4 or greater cost 2 less is pretty insane, and whenever he attacks as well, you're getting a +1/+1 counter and trample, and that's the important part. Nullhide obviously doesn't have trample, so you could obviously have them both in the deck as well, but since we're playing a couple of Planeswalkers that we're kind of semi-reliant on depending on matchups, I think Goreclaw could be a better fit for these kind of Gruul decks at the moment. I've played against it on paper, it is very devastating if you can't deal with it. So yeah, I'd keep an eye out for that as well, just as the coming days unfold. God Eternal Ruinous is the other creature that we've got here, which is kind of another big legendary god from the new set. So these cards are great because they have a ton of recursion built in as well with the bottom text, and having Death Touch on a 5/5 is pretty good. The most important part of it is though that when he enters the battlefield, you're going to double the power of all your creatures. So if you've got something massive out, say for example a Galta, he'll become a 24/24, gain vigilance until end of turn. If your opponent somehow manages to block all that, we do have Thud as well, just to kind of sack a creature, chuck at our opponent. A lot of people are kind of saying Thud is a terrible card. I'm not convinced, to be honest. I think it's great fun. I've had a couple of really fun Thud kills as well, so I'm going to stick it in just as a kind of extra win con. It can catch a lot of people out. People don't really play around it too much, especially if they're going to go kill your creature. You can just sacrifice it, Thud it, deal a ton of damage to them. Yeah, there's obviously the Jund deck that's got a turn 3 kill at the moment that people are pretty worried about, so people might start looking into it a bit more, hold up a counter for it, but for 1 mana to potentially deal 24 damage, I think it's probably worth just adding in. So we've got both Domri Planeswalkers in this deck as well. I'm not sure which one's going to be better yet, but Anarchabolus has some pretty good upsides. It can come down as early as turn 2 if you're lucky, I guess, with Llanowar Elves. And yeah, being able to kind of give all your creatures +1/+0, you're going to get some early chip damage in. What we're really looking for as well, same with the Domri Chaosbringer, is that kind of +1 ability of being able to add uncounterable mana. And yeah, it means we can get both the gods down pretty cleanly without any sort of trouble. You know, our opponent has to answer on the board, otherwise they're going to get ridiculously, you know, overpowered. Basically, the good thing is this is just kind of 2 extra redundancies for Rhythm of the Wild, but with Chaosbringer, obviously you get a little bit extra value because you can chuck the haste on something as well. So the star of the deck, Ilharg, the Raze-Boar. This creature is absolutely insane. It's a legendary 6/6 for 5 mana with trample, and whenever you attack with him, you can basically dash a creature in. All the ETB effects happen. It also gets haste, it's attacking, it's massive. Ilharg's massive. It's got fantastic kind of built-in synergies with the deck as well. I mean, if you can haste this out, you're going to get a ton of damage through with trample. If, you know, it dies, it goes back third from the top, which is what all the gods are doing at the moment, but it's just, you know, a really, really big recursive threat that you either have to counter or have something to mill against. So if you've got things like Rhythm down, it's always going to be uncounterable. It's going to be fantastic. You know, you're going to be able to push through with a load of damage every single time. I think this card is going to be absolutely insane. Yeah, I mean, in conjecture with the other 5 drops that we've got in the kind of current meta, I think it can revival things like, you know, Teferi. I think it can maybe, you know, threaten Anarchabolus to an extent. So we'll test it out, see how it goes, and yeah, run a couple of games with this fun deck that I really, really am looking forward to. So sit back and enjoy. So Sammy, best of luck. So ideally you want to be on the play, so unfortunately we're on the draw here, but hopefully our opening hand's pretty good. We'll be able to kind of get in with everything and see what happens. But let's take a look at the hand. That is pretty good. So I think we're going to keep it. We might shock ourselves for Llanowar. We shall see. Not too many forests, which is quite annoying, but you do need some red, obviously. You're playing double red cards. So let's see what our opponent's on. Ooh. So hopefully not something too control-y, but we do have Sideboard Tech to kind of deal with that. So we'll just get Llanowar down. Means we can haste out Spellbreaker next turn if we want. Oh, and it's Esper. So let's see what they take. Probably going to be Goreclaw, but they might take Spellbreaker. Stop the 3 damage early. So we're going to be careful for things like Kaya's Wrath. And yep, so they take our Spellbreaker. Ooh, so that's pretty good against control. We shall pop that down. Very good. So now we can start hasting Goreclaw, getting the counters on him really early. We're going to just try and go for big early damage. And unfortunately, the second Thought Erasure in hand from our opponent. Pretty lucky. But bins a counter, as they now know it's going to be useless. So we're going to be relying a little bit on top decks now, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's okay. At least we can start putting +1/+1 counters on our Incubation Druids and stuff. So just going to get in for some chip. So hopefully if we can get the Adapt off on the Incubation Druid, we can start putting through some big damage. Opponent's going to probably, use some sort of removal, get rid of it, but that's okay. So we'll just get Domri on the go. And start getting some extra chip in. So I mean, there is potential. Llanowar could go the whole way if we get it right, but yeah, at least we've got another uncountable thing. So if they do decide to mortify Rhythm of the Wild, at least we've got Domri for uncountable magic. It's going to keep putting the pressure on. We shall just give this haste. Again for 4. And pass turn. Should be uptaking Domri there. A little bit of a misplay. And there's Teffers. You're not going to negative that, surely. Come on. Yep. So opponent probably looking for Kai's Wrath or something. But this is good. I mean, if we can kind of deal against Esper, then I'm going to be very impressed. So what we can do is we can Domri's Ambush. I don't think they're going to have a negate up. Or, that'll do. So just give this the +1/+1 counter and haste. So opponent doesn't have Seal Away, so we're just going to go for face. Arguably could take out Teferi here. Is it worth it? It's 9 damage. They're probably going to have a Kaya's Wrath next turn. So just take out Teffers. Just in case. And remember to uptick Domri. So yep. Fingers crossed opponent doesn't have anything. If they do have Kai's Wrath, no they don't. Scoops it up. So up against control, we're going to be careful of Thief of Sanity. So we're going to take our counter starts. We're going to take our Vivians. Force Cindervines. So we want to go down probably Goreclaw. Probably Demanding Dragon. And arguably take out Galta. So go down a Thud. 2 more cuts. What shall we cut? And probably go down the Domri's Ambushes. We might just go down all the Domri's Ambushes. And 5/5 flyer. Yeah, and then we're gonna go back up Goreclaw actually. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have turn to his Kanta, but that was pretty good. I mean, we were able to take them out pretty quick there. So probably gonna be in the draw again, but let's see what we get this time. Got through the double Thought Erasure, which was pretty handy, and yeah, we'll take that. So Vivian's really good. So you were able to kind of, you know, get a creature and exile it, and then put it into play. We do have all our mana here, and hopefully not get too flooded, but if we can get this to resolve early, yeah, having creatures flash in is pretty unlucky against control. So a bit unfortunate there. Thought Erasure. Oh, Skanta. Very nice. So just going to get Vivian down cleanly, demand an answer. We can obviously play our Cindervines next turn. So hopefully I'm gonna... Oh, Cleansing Nova. Okay. So we're gonna go for the exile here. Try and find a creature.
Let me show you what was lost.
So just cast a Llanowar, see if we can bait out a counter, and then play Cindervines. Resolves. It's tempting. Try and hold on to Cindervines for a little bit. We can obviously throw down Rhoda next turn as well, which is pretty good with the flash. See if our opponent hits this with something. So just going to try and get the Cindervines to resolve to get rid of his Kanta when we need to. Obviously, it's going to be a wee while before it flips, but he's kind of one of the main targets against this deck. So ideally, we're wanting our opponent to tap out for Chemisters or something. Not yet, though. Wow, that is an interesting development. So I think we're going to just go for it. If we can get both these to stack, it's going to do a ton of damage to them as well. So, Absorb. Negate. Of course, they can have the Mortify as well, let it resolve, and then Mortify it, but if we get 2 down, that'll be pretty good. And there's the Sabotage. That's fine. Bins of Teffers, which means they obviously have one in hand. So yep, just gonna get the second one down. And go hunting for more creatures again.
Strike now. Strike hard.
So unfortunately we won't be able to cast any of these, so we're just gonna cycle Vivian, I guess. Put the rest in the bottom. Get in for 1. So the Cindervines obviously threatens to blow up his Kanta at any moment, so we can do that when he gets close to 7. But for now we get a little bit of extra value every time he casts a spell, so that's good. Obviously if he goes for the Mortify, we just blow it up straight away. Yep. So could do with a big kind of hasty threat here. So yep, just gonna go after Teferi, start chipping that down. We'll flash in Rona at the end of their turn. And then we got a 5/5 that can kind of hit him afterwards. So let's see what our opponent does. Hopefully draw a Carnage Tyrant or something. But yeah, we gotta be careful about Kai's Wrath and stuff. So luckily they're not playing the new Teferi that gives their spells flash. So things like Kai's Wrath on your turn can be pretty devastating. But our opponent's got a lot of mana at the moment. So we'll see what they do. So yep, gonna flash in Rona. See if we can get that to resolve. Ideally we would have more creatures in hand here, but we've got to go for it, I guess. Can't leave Teferi around for too long. So make them spend their mana on their turn rather than ours. Ooh, that resolves. Nice. So yep. Let's see what our opponent does. Mortify it maybe? Nope. Ooh. That's a big boy. So we're gonna go after Teferi here. Just in case they've got something to answer it. Yep, that's fine. So they get to keep Teferi around for one more turn, but that's okay. Nope, and we forgot to do that as well. Whoops. So yep, forgetting that Vivian's got plus as well. But at least next end step we can flash in our big boy, hopefully draw something as well. So uptick Teferi, get some card advantage. Keep up the pace. So yeah, Teferi obviously still a ridiculously powerful card, but that's okay. So the Kai's Wrath, that's fine. And yeah, we will take the action and put that back in. So opponent obviously can hold up a counter here as well. But we'll see what they've got. So we are going to have to blow up Escanta next turn as well. So we'll flash in Raze-Boar. And opponent can't deal with that. Fair enough. So, yep, you can see the pressure that kind of puts on control. It's really, really powerful. We'd be able to obviously take out Teferi and then drop some big creatures, but giving it obviously Vigilance and Reach as well is pretty good. So, good victory there. So the Teamer Lemur, best of luck. That's a strong pose from Domri. So we'll take the play here. And we will keep that. See where our opponent's on. If it's not Teamer, I'll be very surprised. But it could just be the biggest play of all time. We'll see. It could be a massive, massive bait, but there's the green. Oh. So opponent seems to be on Grill so far. Will they play the blue as well? This could be a turn 3 Ilharg though. Wild Growth, huh? So that might be a threat. We'll see if they can deal with that. Hopefully draw a creature to use with it, but if we don't, I'm not too concerned. Reveals another Wild Growth. Leaves it there. So unfortunately no creature there, but we are just going to get in with him. See if our opponent goes for the double block. We've got the recursion at least. Let's just get him for a nice 6 there. Past turn we can obviously adapt our Incubation Druid on their turn as well. Have a nice blocker. See what our opponent plays. Another Wild Growth. Will he have the Jade Light again? Or a Merfolk Branchwalker? Another one. And there's the Teamer. Nice. Looks like an interesting build. Teamer creatures. And gets a land there. But gets their blue source as well. This is a bit troublesome. But if we get Gals off the top, it could be potentially a bit game changing. So we'll see what happens. That is a big boy. So that's something that we are looking for. Oh, big threats. Here we go. So see how our opponent decides to block. Probably going to try and get Ilharg out of the way. Can always thud it if we need to get rid of this Wild Growth Walker, but that's the damage come through. How much are we taking on the backswing there? So 5, 9, 12, 16. So just gonna sack him and then put him back into our library. Get rid of that big wild growth and play mountain past turn. So yeah, we can get Rona down again next turn as well, which is pretty good. Have that as a death touching blocker. Hopefully he doesn't have another explore creature, but oh, spark double. Very good. So it goes into Jade Light. Going in the bin probably. Don't think you need that right now, mate. Yep. Gains a ton of life again. Gets into the backswing. So just jump this at the moment. Don't take too much damage. So just play down Rona. Last turn. So yeah, let's see. One did have a massively explosive start. Oh, unlucky. So we got pretty favourable chumps here. But it might be too late. So how much can we afford to take? Oh, they just got lethal. Bit unlucky. But yep. So we know they're on the explore plan. Have to do a little bit of sideboarding here, but we should be okay. So we need 4 of those, 2 of those, and will they have reclamation? I think we'll take it just in case. So I'm gonna go down, Core Claw. So just doing some light cuts here. I'm not too sure what the best way to sideboard this is, but I know we definitely want lava coils. Drop down an incubation druid. Another ambush. The fight could be really handy, but again we have to have a creature down to kind of deal with that at the first. Spellbreaker is going to be okay, but we kind of want to get ahead here. Go down another rhythm, so at least we've still got Domri and everything. The uncounterable is not too good. The Rise handy, but only if we have Ilharg, I guess. Ilharg, sorry. So Temur Lemur, that was pretty interesting. Luckily not just reclamation and playing all the boring way of doing it, but yeah, it's okay, we'll keep that. So hopefully get another land. Pseudo land, I guess. So let's see what our opponent does here. I swear if it's a wild growth again. Oh, there's rhythm. Well, luckily we can kind of negate that. Next turn, see what they play though. So ideally we want land, get down Domri, but can't always Domri's ambush fight something. Hopefully keep that off. And there's the other 3/3 Llanowar Elf. Yep, totally cool. So just play a Domri. go for the uptick as well.
This ain't gonna be one of those quiet riots.
So yeah, pass turn. No point in sacking Bronstone. There's 2 rhythms down. What a draw. Opponent's got 5, 6. Let's see what they go for. Oh no, not wild growth. Not Jade. Not Jade Light. So yeah, obviously the Explore package, very, very good at the moment. That's a big wild growth already. Hopefully it doesn't have that. Excellent. So we will uptick. Play our little Raze-Boar and we will give it haste. Get in there with them. Oops. Well, at least the thread's a good bit of damage coming through. We can obviously fight this wild growth next turn. And yeah, that's fine. So hopefully we can just start down ticking with our Domri. Get some more creatures in hand. Again, you only ever really want 1 or 2 on the board, otherwise this sort of things happen. Wow. That's pretty good. Right, got Eternal Rodness. Not the end of the road. At least we can start jumping. Do we even block this? Is it worth it? It's down to 1. Get the mana. Nah, not worth it. We have the fight.
Not by a long shot.
So put that down. So we now got a couple of turns we can survive now. Opponent's only got 1 in hand. We do have kind of good ways to get back into this. And let's just start getting in again with the Raze-Boar. God, if only we had a creature. But puts our opponent on the clock. Let's see what they draw. Ah, Phoenix is fine. We can deal with that. How are we going to do this? Trample from that's going to be good. Domri.
Be careful. I'm alright, nada.
So yeah, I think we go in with everything here. Gore Claw. Get the plus counters. That should do it. It's a shame that obviously doesn't trigger as well. Huh. I thought I would maybe get the end of turn counter. Interesting. That might be a slight bug. So let's see, we're putting blocks here. Yeah, still got 1 card at least.
We are the many.
That's fine. So it should be all locked up. Perfect. Great, so we'll take it into game 3, see what happens. Pretty happy with the way that's looking. I'm so tempted to put another Demanding Dragon in, but again, they've got such an explosive early game. We'll run it back, see what happens, I guess. So, straight into it. Fantastic. Pretty exciting game. There was a lot of thinking to be done there, sorry. That's a keep. No Llanowars, unfortunately, but can't always have them, I guess. Or our opponent can, at least. Fair enough. So let's see what they play out next. Oh, no turn through rhythm this time, please. So at least we know they've got Rekindling Phoenixes. And there is our big boy once we get to 5. And yeah, if you get the chance to ever kill a Wild Growth Walker, you probably should. Otherwise, the advantages they get are crazy. So land for our opponent. Another Llanowar. Do we get super punished? 5 mana. Rona in hand potentially. Yeah, I think we're just gonna keep going for it. Give it haste. See if they decide to block with anything. Rona comes down, they're gonna get 10 damage through. Then we can at least start lava coiling things. And a hasty Galta would see that everyone is more than happy, so that's fine. Are they gonna keep that there? They are. So just gonna hold this back in case they do have God Eternal. At least gets us a decent block. So Jade Light, yep. Always got Jade Light. That's fine though. Gain a ton of life, gain a ton of life, get a load of counters. Blah. Always the case. So I'll get down our big boar, keep us back as a blocker for now. Obviously, Yalta potentially coming down next turn. Yep, that happens. Gains a little life. Wow. Oh no. The prophecy. Cool. Yep. It's okay. So start game with Ilharg. At least chuck a Galta down. He's gonna have to start blocking that eventually. Oh, if only we had one more mana. So Gara put him back down to 20. Great success. This might be all said and done when you have that many explore creatures on the go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 explore creatures, wow. Yep, that's a pretty good opponent. Oh well, unlucky. But yeah, again, there is arguments to put in that kind of package, but I'm just not a big fan of it myself personally. But unlucky loss there, but still good fun. So we'll jump over to the post-game wrap-up and review the games. So deck went 1-1 there, which isn't too bad. We did have a really good kind of matchup against the Esper control there. I think the way that the deck was kind of built kind of lends itself more towards beating Esper. It was a bit unfortunate against the kind of teamer creature deck there. I've never seen anything like that, but it does look like a cool list, so might look into something similar. Against that kind of explore package, I think it's going to be 50-50 whether or not you draw your removal for the wild growth and stuff. And yeah, I think kind of against the other decks, the meta, we should have an alright time against red if we can get the big creatures out fast enough. Against other kind of mid-range decks, we can go well above them as long as they don't have removal. As I was kind of playing, I was thinking Goreclaw isn't too bad actually against kind of things like Sultai. You know, it dodges cast down, whereas obviously with Nullhide Ferox, they can just pay the 2 then cast it down. Kind of puts you down in the 4 mana play, but especially as they can do that on their turn as well, holding up mana for other things as well. Against kind of token decks, I think we're going to be okay with all the kind of trample creatures, and yeah, against Team of Reclamation we should be absolutely fine as well. Depending on what the new kind of meta comes around, it'll be interesting. I was really kind of a fan of seeing Liliana and stuff whilst I was testing this out in other games. Could potentially be something we might struggle against, but again, haven't seen too many new decks to kind of be able to make a good assumption on it. Notable changes I'd probably make, I'd maybe play around trying this lower to the ground, have more into the battlefield effects for Ilharg, and yeah, maybe change the planeswalkers about. I mean, they both seem pretty useful in certain circumstances. You can build this super aggressive and have loads of kind of like 1 and 2 drops and hopefully hit rhythm, and then just have Ilharg just for extra value. Yeah, I think with the rhythm and everything though, it's absolutely perfect. So yeah, again, I'll just keep tweaking this list, see what happens, keep you guys updated when I play on paper, and yeah, there should be an article out fairly soon for it. So yeah, on top of everything, I mean, you're ramping into the big creature, that was the idea of this, and then having the thud available is just an extra kind of bonus. So I'm pretty convinced that this is like an alright way to build it. Maybe not perfect, but still a lot of fun. So cheers. So the most important part of Magic for me is the community, and I would absolutely love for you guys to get involved as well. If you have any kind of deck tips or decks that you'd like to share, if you just pop me a message over on social media, I'll be able to take a look, try and give you some help and kind of tips and tricks on how I would get around building things, and yeah, we can all just kind of share this together as well, which would be great. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, please do the usual YouTube stuff, like, subscribe. We've also got our page over on Patreon as well if you want to support the channel further. There's going to be some sweet perks up on there. And if you do want to see how the paper games went as well, please check out the full article over on our website, tamiyosjournal.com. So Tamiyo's Journal is also part of the Creators Quarter community. This is basically a group of us that have been working together to generate some great Magic content, and you'll be able to find all their stuff in the playlist in the top right, just over here. And if you're looking for more standard content, why not check out the rest of our playlist over here as well. So thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you again soon. Cheers.